And I really lucked out.
Hey, I I actually have a question. Uh, I actually want to know, Jed, your first acquisition. How did that look like? How did you start? Because obviously you had very less resources, and most of the guys listening to this podcast don't even know where to start. And I want to know what was your experience with your first deal?
So I started off. I've decided to be a self-funded searcher. I decided I wanted to own my journey on that one. Um, Not sure if I would make that same decision going again if I was to start over. But I raised money from friends and family, people I had served in the Air Force with, people I went to business school with, and ultimately raised about $200,000. So I had a nest egg. And so with my first acquisition, I talked with lots of owners. I mean, probably over 300 at this point, and ultimately had, I don't remember exactly. It was either 5 or 7 LOIs out the door, and 2 were accepted, 2 were closed. And my very first acquisition was with a small landscaping company in Southern California, and I really lucked out. I found this guy. He was the owner, wonderful individual in his 70s, and uh, he owned this small landscaping company, and it was just him, a small admin office, and then a team. And they had been in business for like 40 years. And I asked him, because we met randomly, and I asked him, I was like, why have you not decided to sell? And he said, I'd planned to sell before the pandemic, but then everything got super busy after the pandemic, and then he just doesn't have time for any of that. And so this business was, it was a point to where like the finances were not audible because he didn't have actual accounting. Like he just put everything into a business checking account. It was really surprising at the time how mismanaged finance can be in small business. But now I've seen enough after that to where I realized that like that's really kind of like par for the course. Really messy accounting, not having accounting, like those are pretty standard things for businesses 5 million and